There's always crossroads in life. We spoke about this before, but the crossroads here is significant because you see this loop. It means we can always loop into same stories, same patterns, same routines, which may not be serving us. But we're here to let you know that you are able to break out of this at any time. We can let it continue like this instead of looping around. But we have to be aware of other possibilities. And this is not easy because in life it can feel very challenging. So this is why we attach to same stories, same routines, same habits, same beliefs, same knowings. We think we know. Knowing is in quotation marks. But just so you know, there is so much more for you. And the saying is true. You water where you water it, the grass will be greener. So if we're watering these loops, we cannot see other possibilities. If we want to expand our garden, we must water it, maybe in patches that we have forgotten exist. The patterns may not be known to us yet, but first we need to start watering where it's going to lead us to the same place. This is just an analogy, okay? The grass is greener where you water it. So if we release the notion that we have to continue in these loops and there could be more, if we actually water into this potential, wouldn't this be more fruitful? If it wanted to make a change, that is. Not everybody wants to shift, move, change, adapt, do different things. This is for those who are wanting to do differently but feel stuck in a loop. But to break out of it, we have to be aware and know that there is more for us than just the same old what we've been doing. The path brings us to interesting ways of being, interesting ways of how we've learned to adapt. Because it's maybe just this thought that leads us into this loop. This is a message that was brought earlier with information on how we build up our armor to protect us. But the protection leads us in this loop. We just keep going in here. Is this true protection? Is this protection you would want? Or would you want protection that is adaptable, that can grow in a positive way? Think of the grass, okay? We want to not feel so weighed down by things, but instead be able to grow and adapt and respond to situations without feeling so heavy. And think of grass when it blossoms, right? It's not stagnant usually. It will grow in lots of different ways. It's resilient, it's adaptable. It's not heavy, it's very light and airy. And this is the main message of this week, is that to be able to access new ways of being and grass being greener, we need to learn this lightness. And it can be fun to be here, but also very scary, because these are what feel safe to us. These are what feel, oh, we know what we're doing. But there's so much more beyond this. It's hard to tap into. It can be hard because we think we know it all. But we're here to let you know there are so many more possibilities than you can even fathom. And this is a piece of, pen's running out. This is a piece of understanding that we don't know every single thing. And even though we want to, because we can be very controlling, we must release this harder than said, because this has been the fruition of many years of thinking. But at some point we have to realize that our thinking is very limited and can bring very toxic patterns. Even though we think we're being great and we're like, we know what's gonna go on. Isn't that a bit boring also? Just knowing everything? We want you to have fun with this. Look at all these different possibilities. Wow. Instead of looping, we could do this, or this, or this, or this, or this, or this. The possibilities are endless. This is not a limiting way of being. This is limiting. And many of us live in this pattern of limiting beliefs, or limited mindset, or limited actions. There is no need for this, because there is so much in store. But the repetitivity of being in this loop inundates us with heaviness that is not useful. So the way to move out of this, to break the cycle, break the loop, what do you do normally? Think about, let's say this is a train track. I don't know if those that are train builders, maybe even just a Formula One track. Let's say a car track, this is a train or a car, whatever you want it to be. Or however you can relate to being on track. So how do we change the track? We take out a segment, or even a train just changing to its destination. We have to take out, say, this segment to make a new one. What we want you to know is that it's not just one path you can make from breaking this loop, like the car zooming around, to change the direction, to change the course. We have to change the track. But this track is not just one track. This is what is exciting, but also can be terrifying, because we think we're so good at the pattern recognition, but to break it, we have to change the track. But this track can come off into many different tracks. But then these tracks can lead to more tracks. And this is the thing, life is supposed to be an adventure. It's supposed to be us unraveling and unfolding things. But if we're stuck in these loops, how are we ever going to know that there are more tracks or access them? More importantly, is the access to them, because they're always here, but we have to learn to break the loop. And we do this by, we've mentioned before, a counter thought to what you would normally think. And this is practice. We have to practice this, because it will not come naturally. It will not come naturally. It will to some, but in the main, because we've had these thinking patterns for so long, it's very hard to break free from them. So just think how fun this could be. Look at all these different tracks we could go down. We're not meant to stay in these loops. We're not meant to. And kudos to those that have understood this, that understand that the track can change at any point, and that's okay. That's okay, because we're now watering something that is going to grow and be adaptable, more so than this, because this makes us very fragile. Actually, it does. We think it makes us strong, it makes us build the armor, and no one can get through this penetrating wall. But does this make us adaptable is the question, and the answer is no. Because we think that we're this impenetrable force. Think of a fort, a castle on top of the mountain. Thou shalt not pass, you cannot make it through here. But actually, in fact, the way of being that is beneficial, if we're wanting to grow and expand, is to be like the grass. Because it's, as we mentioned, more adaptable. It can grow in many different ways. If we're impenetrable, we're not growing. We're actually very stagnant in this loop. But the grass is like the tracks. It keeps growing in all different directions, and it's lush and it's green, and there's just so much it can cover and expand to. So that's the message. That is what we want to share today. the loop can be broken free from. But it's up to you to decide to change the course.